Hello guys, 9JK here giving insight to the Korean cultures. For today's video, I'm going to be doing sort of like an interview with somebody special. So I'm going to be finding out what exactly she thinks about Korean culture. So let's get into it. So guys, this is my younger sister Olivia. Say hi.
Hi.
So for today's video, I want to just find out your honest opinion of what you think about Korean culture. Okay. So the first question, before you got into this, like knowing about Korean culture, did you have any idea of what Korea was about or what they did in Korea, or did you know anything about Korea at all?
Well, I think what I knew was what every other person would have known. Okay, Korea is a country in Asia, and that was where it ended.
Wow.
I'm not sure I even knew that there was North and South Korea. I just knew that Korea was a country in Asia, and I really couldn't even differentiate them from other Asians.
So how did you how did you know things about Korean culture or Korea?
I think this is the same way everybody in Nigeria. I think that question should be, how did the entire Nigerians pick an interest in Korean culture? There was just one movie that was just everywhere and on everybody's lips and on everybody's screens, and it was Boys Over Flowers. I don't know what was so special or what is so special about that movie, but for some reason it just came and it made waves and everybody was watching it. And since then we have all been into Korean movies, Korean culture, K-pop and the likes.
So from watching Korean movies, you got to know more about Korea in general, right?
Yes. I've definitely learned a lot. about the Korean culture.
Okay, so from watching Korean movies, is there anything in particular that piqued your interest, that made you want to keep on watching the movies?
Let me see. I think why I enjoy Korean movies is because I like the fact that they are cliche, and then there's always this romance and their love triangles, and even though they are cliche, they are not bad. Like most cliche movies are just cringe worthy, but theirs are still, it's cliche, but you still want to watch it. You still want to watch it, you don't mind.
Yeah.
Even though you know what's going to happen in the end, but you don't mind anyways. They still find ways to like
draw your attention,
bring drama here and here, and not in a way that is extra, like, you know what I'm talking about.
Tiring.
No, it's not too extra, it's not tiring, it's not can this movie just end? It keeps you glued to your screens. Like once I know that a session, like maybe like I'm in school and I know that the semester is about to start, I don't even try watching a seasonal movie. Like I don't, because I won't be able to stop. And it's going to affect my books and my studies. So I don't just try. I only watch them when I know, okay, I don't have any responsibility, I don't have books to study, I don't have work to do and stuff like that.
Once you enter Korean film,
no coming out.
As in, you just stay there. You can't come out again.
No coming out.
So is there anything that you've noticed in, like, from watching? You've not been to Korea?
No.
Yeah,
I haven't, unfortunately.
But is there anything from watching their movies? Is there anything you've noticed that is similar to Nigerian culture?
I feel there are a few things, but the one I'd like to mention, because okay, I think it's personal, is the fact that we both love food. Nigerians and Koreans love food. As a Nigerian, if you're a Nigerian and you're watching this video, you'd agree with me that food is a major part of our lives. If you go to an event, if you go anywhere, go to visit somebody's house and they do not offer you food, or they offered you food and somehow that food managed to pass you by, you come back home angry. So you would come back home angry. You won't be happy at all, because why would I go to a place and food is
not rich? Especially party jollof.
The party jollof, the pounded yam, the eba, the amala, those are delicacies. And for Koreans to I always see them serve food. Even when the families are poor, you still see like a variety of delicacies, like
side dishes.
Okay, they call them side dishes.
Yeah.
Like they always make sure that no, food is very, very, very important. So I like that fact.
Another fact is that Nigerians and Koreans are big on respect.
Yes.
They are very big. You don't see like especially in Nigerian in Korean culture, you don't see a younger person calling another person by name. It's not done. It's seen as being very, very disrespectful. Unlike westernized countries where they call people by names, and it's just normal. But for Koreans and Nigerians, we are big on that. You know, even if the person is 1 year older than you, you have to accord that person the respect that the person deserves.
Yeah, that's very, very impressive. Even down to their families, I noticed that they don't call their older siblings by names. No, they use things like Nuna.
Yes.
Use things like
Hyungnim.
Hyungnim. Nuna, Hyung. So that is also very similar to what we do here.
Yeah.
Like in some families, you don't see siblings that are not the same age calling each other by their names. Even when it comes to the way they address people, I noticed that something very similar. Like in that video where you talked about I think the similarities between Nigerian and Korean languages.
Yeah.
Like in Nigeria now, there's a particular way you speak to someone who is your age mate, and there's a particular way you speak to someone who is your elder. I'm not talking about like the manner you speak it. I'm talking about the words you say. It might be the same word, maybe good morning, but there's a way you say good morning for someone who is your mate, and there's a way you say good morning for someone who is your elder.
That is chondemal and bamal.
Yes.
That is formal and informal speech.
So there's something very similar to that. That's very, very impressive. I found it very, very impressive because right now in this our generation where everybody is trying to be woke, it's still very impressive to see that countries are trying to make sure that their cultures and their traditions are not wiped away by the wokeness.
Yeah, that is very true. The next question I have is, from watching Korean films, is there anything you notice that we don't like? It's not weird, but maybe like weird in a different kind of way that you notice that they do like in Korean culture?
Well, I think I would have noticed a lot of weird things, but right now almost everything is escaping my mind. But there's one I remember, and it still comes down to food. I think there's a different way we eat. Yes, we both love food, but we eat differently. I think this is a trend I've noticed in Korean movies, that they tend to eat loudly. I hope I'm not offending anybody.
No.
That they tend to eat loudly. They tend to slurp. They tend to make noises when they are eating. Like those. When you are imagining food in your head, those kind of expressions that you make, like how you actually want to eat it.
Yeah.
They actually do that outside, and it's seen as normal.
Yeah.
Which you get, I feel is even appreciated.
Yeah.
But here in Nigeria, you can't eat like that. It will be seen as disrespectful. Like
they will tell you, did they not teach you how to eat at home?
Exactly. It will seem as if you weren't trained. Like you can't go to an event and then be making loud noises and slopping and messing everywhere, cleaning. It's seen as very disrespectful and as if you have no table manners. So I find that to be, and I feel I think you told me one time that if you go to Korea, like if you're served food in Korea and you don't slurp, you don't it seems as if you are not enjoying. You are not appreciating.
If you are a slopper or you are a person that likes to just go to Korea and slop away. Just we continue. It's
that's something I can never get used to.
If you go to a restaurant and you actually eat like that, it means that
it's not offensive.
No, it means that you actually enjoy the food.
Wow.
So slop away.
So imagine going to go and see your in-laws and you are served food and that's where you eat. It doesn't feel weird to you.
No, but I don't think you slop to the extent of being a nuisance.
Not a nuisance, slopping at all.
No, it's not weird.
It's
not weird. It just, like I said, slop away.
It seems very weird.
If you are given the opportunity to go to South Korea, are there places that you would like to visit?
Oh, definitely. I just don't remember their names.
But do you remember a particular city?
the one that everybody remembers. So I definitely want to visit Seoul because everybody says so.
Yeah.
But then there are other places I've seen in movies that
Namsan Tower.
Yes. Now Sang Tower from Boys Over Flowers.
Yeah.
Yes, places like that. I don't remember their names, but definitely I would love to explore.
Yeah.
Like explore everything explorable.
Oh wait, so I have to go and save now so that I can, send her to Korea.
Yes, please.
No problem. So I appreciate you joining me on my channel.
It was nice being here.
Okay, so we are going to end this video here, and I hope you guys are able to know a little bit about Korean culture. At least you did not hear it from my mouth. You heard it from someone else. But no, because they will feel as if I'm the one, like I'm adding salt and pepper.
You are being partial.
Thank you, I'm being partial. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Bye.